please click like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it and I really need it. Thanks for all your support.
All right, let's do this shit. I'm here with Jon Nutt.
Salute.
The godfather of Thai MMA. This list can go on for ages. MMA fighter, frontman and owner, promoter and everything for Full Metal Dojo. Works for WLC over in Myanmar and Burma. Does stuff with Myanmar in Malaysia.
Yep.
Stuff with prison fights, TV presenter, ring announcer. Oh, the list can go on, Jon.
Yes. I have tried to do everything that I can in the combat sports business at one time or another. Definitely. You know what I mean? From official to pundit to journalist to whatever. I've been the guy that held the cage door closed many a time right by you. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Definitely try to do it all. It's an entertaining thing. You know, Russ, that I enjoy the events coordination of shows. That's what I enjoy most.
What I noticed about you is you're always super helpful with people. Even speaking to Will last night, he was mentioning your name, that you'd help him. And like, I'm having amateur fights and you're coming up to me, helping me, you know what I mean? Which I really appreciated. So,
sure.
How's it been for you with all this lockdown, being, having a young family and then having fight business just disappear, you know?
Yeah. Well, again, I am going through withdrawal. You know what I mean? Like, not going to the actual shows, dude. You also know, like, I'm a super, like, you know, I'm a hugger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a high fives kind of guy. Like, so this whole germs thing, like, from day one has kind of sucked. But I mean, like, our industry has kind of been decimated except for the UFC. You know what I mean? The UFC's been able to stay doing their thing, which is like crazy, and kudos to them. They are the largest and they are the pinnacle of the sport, though. So, I mean, you know, and again, they're a huge company as far as companies go. So, I mean, for me, again, like, things will have to change and people will have to adjust and we will have to work things out, and it won't be the same as it was before. But hey, let's get creative, right? We can always have fun. I mean, did you ever come to the Dare days? Did you ever come to the Dare shows?
That was one of the things I wanted to speak to you about. That was my first MMA fight I went to, and you know, I heard about things about that in the back, but it was right on the wire. That wasn't it? Tell us about what happened there, because so I heard you weren't going to be able to get legislation or whatever able to fight with that. It was close to it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've done some. Hey, listen, you know, again, technically, most governing bodies throughout the world don't see MMA as a sport. They don't regulate it. I mean, most, you know, Nevada State Athletic Commission in the U.S. are very, very ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Malaysia, in terms of Asia, very ahead of the game. But technically, IMAF, who is the amateur regulating body, you know, they're not invasive, so they didn't get passed by the sports board. So that's why certain countries don't authorize it. Are you with me? Here in Thailand, as you know, it's TIT. This is Thailand. You know, it's always a shade of gray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always the silver lining. So I mean, I don't listen for the spectacle purposes. I like saying we're underground cage fights in Bangkok. You know what I mean? Like, I like that shadiness. I like to break that fourth wall in the WWE style, if you will. But listen, I mean, again, like, we regulate ourselves, and you know that we're above and beyond most shows. Well, with Dare, when the ban of MMA happened by the Sports Authority, we obviously had to do some shows that were very similar to now. You know, I mean, like, they just said that Muay Thai shows are allowed, but they also said, yes, you're a Muay Thai show that's allowed, but you're not allowed to market it. You're not allowed to sell tickets, merchandise, alcohol, food and beverage. You're not allowed to do any of that. So it's like, well, I mean, you know,
what do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? How does Patong Stadium survive? How does Bangla Stadium survive? How does
Yeah.
Chiang Mai Stadium. Like, unless you have a broadcast deal, I mean, the shows are going to have to shift.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
tell us about.
Well, with Dare, I mean, like, I kind of already have had this experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, you also know that, like, I'm a very transparent human being when it comes to this industry. I'm, you know, I think that I'm kind of one of the most honest people in it. And I've always said that Full Metal Dojo is a feeder organization. I've always said that, you know, it's a party. I've always said that it's a party, and it's there, and it's made for the party. It's made for the atmosphere, made for the live audience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love that, but like, now that this is happening and we kind of have to adjust, now I have to make it for broadcast. You know what I mean? And I'm an accomplished enough producer and a director that, like, great. Like, watch what I do, Russ. Watch what I do.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be weird.
That Dare show, that felt a bit edgy, and I've been to big shows, but there's a lot more fun when I go to Full Metal Dojo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a lot more fun. It feels like you're part of it. It feels like you're involved. When I've been to the big shows, you're just so far away. Even when I've had expensive seats that are close, you just feel alienated from it, if you know what I mean. You can almost touch the cage, can't you? You can in some places at Full Metal Dojo. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's people are all out shouting and things. It's good fun and some good fights.
Exactly. And I mean, it is interesting though. Like, we always wanted to keep it a party, and we always wanted to keep it a private party. But I mean, you know, so with now moving towards a broadcast show, I'm not thinking of the party being there. But I'm still thinking about the party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, if we have to do a show that's like a studio show or a behind closed door show, should I even bring the midgets, Russ? Or the midgets? Yes, I should. Yes is the answer. You know, they should be there. The ring girls should be there. You know what I mean? So, so what? Again, I will get weird. You know what I mean? I can't really give you too many details of the upcoming show that we will be doing, unfortunately. But again, you'll see it. It's again, like, I'm an oxymoron too, like Jumbo Shrimp. It's like underground cage fights on Fox Sports Asia. You know?
When's your plans for that? What have you got a timeline or anything for that, or just?
Man, I hope. Yeah, well, I mean, again, I hope that we will be able. So, you know, again, like, I don't necessarily follow an authority, but I'm not a dick. You know, I'm not. I definitely, like, keep it in line and stuff. So, Omnoy Stadium is supposed to go on June 20th. You know, that's this coming weekend. Pattaya is looking good with Max Muay Thai. They're getting up. My Eat Play Fight show is now, like, talking about doing other events and stuff. With everything that's kind of molding and moving, I would say that we will throw, like, an FMD, Full Metal Fight Island, COVID relief fundraiser type of show. Last weekend in July, first weekend in August, something like that. You know, I mean, the fight. You also know that, like, I don't really heavily contract fighters. I don't really, you know, do all that stuff. The guys at the lower end, man, they've got to stay sharp and stay ready for anything anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be a problem. They want to go as soon as they can. You know?
Yeah, if you're up and coming, you need to be. It's like, I think it's Mike Bisping saying it. When you first start, you don't have fight camps. You're just getting ready all the time in the gym. So if there's a fight, you just go. You know, instead of trying. Will was saying that MMA fighters are terrible for, I need this and I need that, you know, because he was saying he had problems with his fighting championships. You know, getting people to fight isn't easy in MMA.
No, it's not, actually.
Well,
I mean, it depends. I mean, like, it depends. There's two ways of looking at that. I mean, here in Southeast Asia, remember that it's still prize fighting. Like, I can get ties to fight for this is, again, I feel like such a dickhead when I come into, like, talking about money, but it's like, I could have Thai fighters fight for like what I consider next to nothing, but what they probably consider rent.
Yeah.
I mean, again, remember that like the average Thai guy that's working, you know, what are most of their rents? 5,000 baht a month. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
if they're in Bangkok, yeah, if they're outside of that, it's less.
Yeah, 6,000 baht a month. So I mean, like me paying them a regular fare or a regular even fair wage compared to Muay Thai. If I'm anytime that a Thai fighter is getting around 10,000 baht, A-okay, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a Western fighter and you think that you're going to get a heck of a lot more, like for instance, for me, every business is going to take a hit, and every business that's a promotion, as you know, a lot of these promotions are very selfish, and like there's a lot of education that behind the scenes fans like you who work shows. Everyone is we're not in the same boat. I'm not in the same boat as the UFC or Bellator or Brave or One or any of those. The major difference between them and me is I'm very, very transparent, as you know.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I don't have the business model where I'm going to go raise a whole bunch of capital and then roll the dice. You know what I mean? That never was the goal of this. It was always kind of about events coordinating, throwing the shows, having the parties. So if I can help the fighters out, I will. But like, for instance, now that we're like, everybody's crushed. If I had fighters come and be like, yo, I need $1,000 to fight. It's like, sorry.
Yeah, where are you going to
Sorry. Oh yeah, for $1,000, I can pay 10 guys. I can pay 10 fighters, 10 Thai guys who would gladly do it for the same. And in this part of the world would be just as big of a draw.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it really does. It's going to be some tough times for everybody. But I really do think, you know, the entertainment value is still there. The people that still want the shows. The fighters still want the fights. So I'm a good guy at connecting the dots. I've already connected a whole bunch. So I know that I will get some certain broadcast people the fight show that they want while providing an outlet for people to throw down.
Cool. So you mentioned Eat, Pray, Fight. What's that? Where's I see you have it on. You post it on your Facebook page and things, but and that's on YouTube. Is that on Fox Sports as well?
It is. Yeah, it's on Fox Sports Asia here. They've been using it they will use it for small portions of ESPN now that they're kind of the same company over here. I don't know if you knew that, but like, and obviously that's keeping separate. But yeah, we were. I love Eat, Play, Fight. I mean, obviously it was a huge passion project that was turned into something great for Fox Sports Asia. That again, like, man, they use it as filler content. Like when I make one episode, Russ, I make like one episode is not one episode. Let me even do it out in my head. It's like one episode is actually one 9-minute and 30-second episode, 2 3-minute and 30-second episodes, and 2 1-minute and 30-second episodes. Are you with me?
Okay. Yeah.
And then those are used as filler content on Fox Sports Asia. Like, so you know that. Well, I don't know. Again, I actually don't know how like commercial time works around the world, but in the States, you know, like everything's done by the half hour, and then you play your commercial time. Out in Asia, that's not how it works, and they have like random times. I'm filler content, so like if they had a break between the Thailand's tennis women's open in Hua Hin, and then they had something else going on in Indonesia, and they had a blank, that's where I get thrown in. And to tell you the truth, I love that because it gets played all the frickin' time, you know?
So tell us about what is it, Eat, Pray, Fight? What
Anthony Bourdain of Asian MMA. I mean, like that's originally what it was set out to be was, you know, a lot of people don't understand this either, but like, you know, casual fans run this industry. No hardcore fans run this industry. Shit. Fucking hardcore fans don't even pay for tickets. They don't even pay for the pay-per-views. I mean, hardcore fans in MMA are actually like probably the worst in markets around the world, like ever. Like they never want to pay for anything. They never want to pay for pay-per-views. So it's all about the casual fan. Well, the casual fan in our industry is the casual fan in every industry. And there's certain things that do way better. Food and travel do way better than MMA. Sad to say. But again, like I'll be straightforward and honest. A lot of, you know, I'm sure there are other MMA promoters that will talk about this the way that I will, but at least I'm not talking about it like in a negative way. I'm talking about it in terms of trying to grow it from that casual audience. So what was Eat, Play, Fight? Eat, Play, Fight is a show where we wanted to introduce more casual fans to MMA via food, via atmosphere of an event, via travel, via beer, you know.
So, just so people know, do you interview fighters, or is it you going and seeing things? Is it?
I do interview fighters. I like working with Andrew Whitelaw. You know, big shout out to Whitelaw Sports. Andy's a really good dude. He's obviously co-producer and co-host of Eat, Play, Fight. And dude, I like to play on strengths and weaknesses. You know what I mean? I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And there are certain times where I know that I'm a clown. Like I know that I'm a clown. I know that I'm an entertainer, but I also will put my foot in my mouth. I just, you know, I'm a joker, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I like about it. You just you, and that's it. And you know, and you seem to have fun with what you're doing, and you know, I love that about you. It's cool.
So thank you. But I mean, that being said, like I love what Andy does too, and Andy as the straight dude that's doing those interviews and things of that nature. You know, when we got to go see Connor this past time, I feel like Andy had a real good time to shine with, like, talking with Cowboy Cerrone was great. He was great with that. He was great with talking to, like, Claudia Gadelha. He was great with Showtime Pettis. He's a very good pundit.
Yeah. Because you went out to cover the Connor and Cowboy fight.
Yeah.
What's the best? How was that compared to other fights that you've been to? Because you shows, don't you, in Vegas and things?
Oh yeah, dude. You know.
Yeah, no, I've not been to anything like that. You know, so I just like.
Oh, it depends. I mean, it depends. Like you said, like a lot of the shows, if you go to a big show, a lot of the big shows are the same, except for the fighters. What I mean by that is, the fighters are different, but if like you've worked shows and I've worked shows, like the production for a Brave show, or the production for a big Glory show, or the production for a big UFC show generally sticks to the same kind of script. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas, like, again, I change mine every time. They kind of stick to a cookie cutter. So if you've been to one show in Vegas, I think, you know, and it's a big show, one big show is kind of like the next big show. And what has changed about that is the characters in the movie, you know, different stars on the bill. It depends, man. Like Eat, Play, Fight, when I'm producing it, we're not allowed to shoot inside the arena in certain areas. Like my rider is so strict as to what I'm allowed to do to not do. So because it's about the ambiance and the out stuff, a lot of our stuff is shot before the actual fights and after the fights, which is the best for me because during the fights I get to just be a fan. Yeah, you know what I mean? Watch it from a VIP section. Watch it from a Sky booth. Like, oh, this is the worst. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously awesome. Like, I love the fact that I used to pay to go to fights and now I get paid to go to fights. That's fantastic. I would say that, like, I'm still on assignment. I'm still at work. Yeah. You know? Like the Eat, Play fights that I do over here, like when we go to, like, see Street Fight Thailand. Yeah. And it's like a bunch of dudes underneath a bridge. that's the dream right there for me. If I could do that every night, I mean, I know that they can't function like that every night, but that's where I actually have the most fun. I love
I see you post a lot of stuff about that. Are you involved in that or just support it?
Oh, I've helped them out. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm not in it on like a business note. I'm not making an earn off of them by any means, but like they're my boys. I mean, when they were doing it, what, 2014, 2015, when they were doing it around 2015, Joe Madcow, big shout out to him, but they were doing it on the concrete, dude. They were doing it on basketball courts and tennis courts and stuff with no mats and not thinking about the second head trauma. You know what I mean? Not thinking about bouncing the heads off the concrete. So I was actually, I was the one that gave them mats. I was the one that, again, I'm a charitable organization, right? You know what I mean? Like, because again, like for me, when we came into this as a business, everybody kind of is divided in this industry, and like certain promotions feel like they can't even support other promotions, even though they'll talk about other promotions in a promotion type of way to try to have co-promotions. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're not, whereas I was like, nah, I'll work with anybody. I'll co-promote with anybody. Aside from co-promoting with anybody, I'll also promote all of it anyway. Like, because also, as you know, there are not the most journalistic integrity held people in this industry as well. So, like, actually, I mean, like, there's not really too much journalism. Like you right now, this is like some of the finest journalism going on in Asian MMA right now. And I am taking the piss a little bit, but you and I both know, like,
I know what you mean, like,
I know you know what I mean, like,
and especially mixed martial arts, it's not covered in Asia much anyway, is it? You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of people. I see a lot of people just slagging things off in just as a clickbait way of getting people to look at it. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to do things positive, like, you know. And I mean, these guys work hard, don't they? And they put the life on the line for, especially at the low level, for not much. You know?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, the martial arts industry is so cannibalistic, and the way that I kind of describe it, I'm gonna age us now, but the way that I've always talked about it, especially like Muay Thai fans, Western Muay Thai fans are the same as like me when I got Nirvana. When I got their Nirvana tape, Smells Like Teen Spirit, when it first came out, I was like, I love Nirvana. And then somebody else would be like, I love Nirvana too. And I'd be like, you can't love them. They're my band. I'm the only one that can love Nirvana. And that's the way, like, almost all Asian combat sports fans are. It's like, I like Pride. Oh, you like Pride? I like Pride. No, I like Pride more. Easy douchebags, you know?
It used to be a bit like that with foreigners in Asia anyway, you know what I mean? It's like, have you ever watched Little Britain?
Yeah.
I'm the only gay in the village, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you're the foreigner somewhere and another foreigner comes in, it's like, oh, out my area.
100%. I'm the Faram. That is the way that it rolls. I mean, it's tough because kind of we all want to kind of one up each other and seem like we got the clout. You know what I mean? Like that goes along with it. But the only way to actually grow these sports is to actually make other casual fans come on board. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that you've seen like a lot of the news on One Championship over like the last day, and I don't really want to get into that. No. But what I'll say is that, like, it's crazy that they're not even getting like the support from people that they've helped out. You know what I mean? Like, again, like I'm pretty sure, like, you know, we don't exactly have, you know, it's weird relationships here in Asia, but I still share their stuff. I still want like Stamp to get her fights. I still love Rod Tong. I still love Jim Harrison. Half of the people that they employ I consider friends. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that, like, there's just not that much support.
No, because if they're up there in Asia, that brings everyone else up, doesn't it? a rising
Bro,
tide raises ships. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And I mean, the larger organizations may stomp the lower organizations. As you can remember, like Thai MMA 4 years ago was moving a lot faster than it is now. There were multiple amateur leagues going. War in the Cage, Cage Wars, Senna Combat. You know what I mean? Those have all kind of fallen off, bro.
Yeah,
Why did they fall off?
I don't know.
You know?
No support? Or...
Yeah, I mean, why does anything kind of fall off? Because again, like maybe the guys that were in charge didn't feel like losing the money that they lost, and they didn't feel like it was worth it. Maybe the events coordinating is too stressful for some people, and they don't want to chew that fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is, all I'm saying is that it's not really great when, like, bro, like right now, I can go back to the States and I can be like, I'm the #1 cage fight promoter in Thailand. And that holds some funniness, because if you're the #1 in Muay or MMA around the world, like it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But bro, but right now, like I'm the #1 MMA promotion in Thailand because I don't think that there's any other fucking MMA promotions in Thailand.
Nothing that does anything regular like Full Metal Dojo is like I live in Bath here, and sometimes there's something on, but they don't even promote it. It's like I normally see it the week after. It's like, why didn't I know about this? I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
And, and it's just like, it's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild. And again, like, yeah, different strokes for different shows, let alone folks, certain shows are made for, as you know, I mean, certain shows are made for uncouth things like gambling and things of that nature. Some shows are made for, in today's day and age, some shows are made for politics. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of Brave, the organization.
Yeah.
And like they have, it's good, man. It's good. It's definitely in my, I like Brave. But Brave is crazy because Brave is like, the Prince of Bahrain loves MMA, and he's gonna have a promotion, and they're gonna do shows around the world. But like, dead serious, like if he's doing a show in Indonesia, that's because there's political ties to Indonesia that he wants to go and have a show and have a party and be a cool guy. Like for me, like it's apples and oranges if you actually compare us. Everybody that's a casual fan thinks we're the same fucking thing because it's MMA, right? But it ain't even close to the same thing.
No.
Like it's not even in the same realm. Like I can't even compare with those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, on a joking note, like you hear these promotions that spend like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. This is kind of a joke, but not really a joke, but kind of a joke. But like Russ, if I had $50 million to play with for Full Metal Dojo, $50 million. There are some other organizations that gets talked about as a number. If I had $50 million to put into MMA shows, if I had $50 million, you can kind of do the math. But if I had $50 million for FMD, I would be able to do an FMD in the Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore or Vietnam. So I'd be able to do a FMD in 7 countries, 7 nights a week.
Okay.
For 5 years. For 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you with me? Like, I'm dead serious. Like,
I'm trying to do the maths. I'm a bit slow, but yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's some of these things are crazy compared to what the costs are in other places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the people that do marketing in these industries, I mean, personally, like, I mean, they're just throwing it on a fire. I mean, Robbie Timmers, my boy over at Glory, I mean, I know that he's joking with me and giving me backhanded compliments, but he always laughs because, like, I promote me more than I promote the fighters sometimes. Well, bro, like, I don't have contracts with the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put, like, huge cash and money into promoting them and then they go and they fight for somebody else, that's just a huge loss to me.
Mm. Yeah, and
you know
also,
what I mean?
if you look at the model of other models like WWE, UFC, who's the biggest promotion in a way in those two? Vince McMahon and Dana White. You know what I mean?
Vince.
You know, and that's
Vince.
a good way to do it, especially if you're a feeder organisation, as you say you are. You know what I mean? You want people to come to the shows, and I think you're not going to get that fighter at every show, are you? If you you know, push a few. You know what I mean?
No. But the thing is, again, like mine's an experience. Mine's an experience show. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody in the world actually wants to fight for me more than they even want to fight for, maybe not the UFC because of clout, but everybody wants to fight for me more than they want to fight for most organizations. And it's not because of the money. It's not because of the money. It's because, bro, if you fight for me, you're actually fighting. Like, you're going to warm up in a fucking garage underneath a goddamn club called Insanity, where it's packed with drunks and scantily clad women and a crazy time. That's why people, like, that's like every movie that you and I grew up with as a kid.
Yeah,
you know,
people make crazy noises as you're coming out, and people being able to, they're there, aren't they? You know what I mean? They're there at the side of the cage. If you're punching someone at the side of the cage, you'll be able to feel someone's wrecked from in the crowd. You know, if you've got,
you get to hear that tom drum, bro. You know what I mean? It sounds like a percussionist is playing up in there. You know? It's wild, and again, it's a unique experience. Yo, if I'm never allowed to do it again because of this COVID shit, how lucky are we that we got to be the, you know, again, like, obviously as a Falang living in Thailand, I'm not playing my life by the scorecard of finances. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not living my life by a dollar sign. So, bro, like, again, say COVID comes back and there's like a second wave and we're not allowed to do live audience shows for another 5 years. How great were the experiences of being at Full Metal Dojos, bro?
They were wicked. I had great times there. You know what I mean? I'm gutted I missed the last one because I was working in China and I couldn't get back, you know, so I can't wait to get back in there. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, again, interesting times ahead with the whole industry because of right now. You know, some of the smaller guys are going to have to hang on. Like, really hang on. Really hang on.
Who've you got coming up that you think could make it as a fighter? Have you got anyone that's doing anything at the moment? Anyone to look out for?
Well, I mean, you talked about Will. I would like to see Will. Will's still, again, like, fighting multiple different sports. I would like to see him fight a little bit more that way. I've talked about getting him onto the WLC cards.
He said that's his favorite type of fight. You know, he loves left. You know.
I'd like to see him fight some more that way. I'd like to get him on the cards. I'd like to see him box as well. Javier Trujillo is still, like, one of my boys. And I don't mean that just, like, as a friend. Although he's, like, a great close friend. I definitely consider him one of my boys for sure. Javi, if you ever were watching it, you're one of my homies. But, like, what people don't know is that, like, Javi, people love Javi.
Yeah.
If you're fighting at a Full Metal Dojo event in Bangkok and you're selling 60 tickets, which he averages at $30 a ticket plus, and he sells t-shirts from Bangkok to the States, like bundles of t-shirts. You know what I mean? Javier Trujillo, I don't know how his social media is. You know what I mean? I don't know how that stuff is doing. He's a damn good word of mouth, marketable personality, self-promoter himself.
Yeah.
So Javier could definitely get to another level or do whatever he wants.
There's a different atmosphere when he's fighting, I've noticed.
Yeah. I mean, like, he brings some immediate hardcore fans. There's always, like, man, I think, like, his girlfriend. I'm pretty sure it was his girlfriend, or I mean, there was a girl that like flew from, you know, the UK or Spain or someplace weird. You see, you know what I mean? Like to be there for hobby, like.
Yeah, I can't remember. I rolled with him once a while ago, and I sparred with him. Or when I say sparred with him, I was gassed out. I was gassed out after the other round with someone else, and then he just took it easy on me.
Yeah,
he was really angry. He could have murdered me.
Yeah,
but it wasn't really sparring.
Oh, he's a bad boy. He's a bad boy. Who else? I mean, like Hide, my big Japanese boy. I mean,
he's a heavyweight.
Like, he's a heavyweight. He could fight in Risen. He could fight in Risen right away. You know, dude, I feel like I have a lot of talent. As you know, most of the talent that I have could fight on any of the platforms in Asia. Any of the big ones. I mean, yes, I pay way less, but my matchmaking is, very fair. You know what I mean?
No fairness, there's not many. There's only once or twice where you see it's like, no, he's way too good for this kid. You know what I mean? Right. It's not a decent fight.
Well, I will throw a freak show every once in a while too. You know what I mean? Amir Ali Akbari, hey-o, you know what I mean? But you know, like, again, like, we try not to give people easy fights. So if you fought on my show and you won, generally, again, in the industry, in the gyms, in the behind the scenes, there's a lot of clout that goes along with that. And I think that, again, the sport of mixed martial arts, or the people that are into fighting, especially the ones that are at a lower level and aren't necessarily doing it off the money, but they're doing it for the experience of life, these motherfuckers are hungry. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna go. They're gonna bang. You're going to get as a fan, again, like, dude, I think that I'm NCAA to the NBA. I think I'm NCAA to pros, you know? And personally, like, I don't watch the NBA, but I love Sweet 16. You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah. I'm from the UK, so I don't really get much about basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't
know what you mean.
What is the feeder league for English Premier League? And is there any, like, again, for soccer, for football, isn't there, like, there's got to be somewhere where, like, just because these guys are at the top doesn't mean these guys aren't just as hungry. Yes, there might not be the skill level.
We have divisions going down, so there's, like, Premier League, Championship, I can't remember, Division 2 or whatever it is, and then it goes down. So there's 4, and then there's an amateur league. So, you know, it's quite structured like that.
Well, I still, again, like, I like watching, for American sports, I like watching college athletics sometimes more than watching the pros. The younger dudes are hungry.
Yeah.
You know, the younger dudes want to make a name for themselves. The younger dudes are on a come up. And I mean, I feel the same way about my guys that fight with me and for me and are a part of the team. Let's listen also, like, I mean, like I said before, it's really tough to market the guys when you're not keeping them under contract for a long time. You know, I market the shit out of Glenn Sparv. I love Glenn Sparv. He's a good friend. He's always helped me out. That's the reason I market the shit out of him. You know what I mean? But if I start making that guy the most famous person in the world, I'm putting all my time into Glenn Sparv. And dude, you know, say I get him to the UFC. Like, kudos. I will go there and I will party with him and we will high five and we will hug and it will be magical. But the fact is I put loads and loads of hours of time, loads and loads of money, loads and loads of other people's time into getting him to a place where we see no return on investment.
Yeah. And that's one thing about you is I see you in so many things, pushing. So I'm not sure if, like, are you involved with the clubhouse, the axe throwing? Are you involved with those, or do you just push them? Are they your businesses, or?
No. Well, you know, I work with the clubhouse. You know what I mean? I've always worked with them since 2015, 2014. So
that's a cool bar for sports, isn't it, in Bangkok?
Yeah, they are a sponsor of mine. They are a partner of mine. Axe throwing as well. They have partnered with me on events before. Ryan and I get along very well. My next show will definitely incorporate some axe throwing. You'll very much enjoy that.
Okay, cool. I've never had it.
Huh?
I've never tried it, so I would go and see it. It's like, what the hell that is? Is it easy or not?
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's easy. It's I mean, dude, it's man's darts. You know what I mean? You know, like why would I throw dart when I can throw a hatchet? You know, like that's a good time right there. So yeah, I mean, you know, again, like we were on a little bit different path. If you look at the money that's in the industry as a whole, you can go about it one of two ways. A lot of people, again, like raise a bunch of capital, right?
Yeah.
And as we've seen with shows in the past, you know, Affliction, Strike Force, Pride, again, some of them make it and some of them make it into great opportunities. Some of them fail and lose millions and millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went after it from an events coordination and a life point of view. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm like the most successful guy in the industry because I also haven't killed my passion.
Yeah.
You know? Like, again, if I was asked to work for the UFC, it depends on what role they would ever want me, but I'm not gunning to work for the UFC because to tell you the truth, I work alongside the UFC enough to know that most of the actual workers for the UFC are 27-year-old women who don't give a shit about the fights or fighters because they're trying to run a good business. And Dana White doesn't want fanboys running his shit that are going to oogle and goggle over every one of their fighters. They want young women who are determined and gung-ho about a position that they could give a shit about. You know what I mean? I like love the team at the UFC. All those women are great, but I don't think that they're, you know, none of them are like, ooh, Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're not asking for an autograph when they're doing things with them and that, you know. So
in fact, if they ask for an autograph, they'd probably get fired. You know, I mean, again, like they run that ship shape, bro. You know, and so again, it is why I feel kind of successful on a different level of like, you know, again, I'm not out there claiming millions and millions of dollars because that's one type of success. There's definitely another walk the walk, talk the talk type of success where, bro, I got to go cover Mayweather McGregor and then go out with McGregor. Like,
yeah. What was the atmosphere for that?
Foolish, bro. Foolish. And because I'm from Boston, like I'm in a room with like Michael Rappaport. You know what I mean? Like who I grew up with. Like Michael Rappaport was in like. Did you ever see True Romance?
Yeah. Right, brilliant film.
Yeah, you remember Christian Slater's buddy in True Romance? Hey, Clarence Worley. That's Michael Rappaport, and I got to hang out with him like all night, shooting the shit about great fights. You know, what's better than that? You know,
for atmospheres, it's like I've been to a few big boxing matches with Ricky Hatton. And there was one he fought, I can't remember his name now, fought some Irish guy. It was like a soccer match, football match, because the World Cup was on, and it was like England-Ireland, and it was just, the noise was amazing. It was just a great, the fight was good as well, because Ricky Hatton always brought it, but it was, you know, it's a great atmosphere there, better than any of his other fights.
Yes. Big fan of Ricky Hatton. I've been to a match, and dude, when they start yelling, like there's only one Ricky Hatton. Great energy, bro. Great energy, you know?
Yeah, I've been to about 4 or 5 of his fights in the UK, you know what I mean? So it's really good fun.
For sure.
How did you get to Thailand, John?
Muay Thai. Muay Thai. Again, like, you know, I came for the first time in 2004, pre-tsunami. I was working in LA before that, was doing all right. And yeah, I mean, I came here. There is Sit Yat Tong in Boston, and there's a Sit Yat Tong in LA. And I had friends that were like, you should go train in Pattaya. And I knew people that had trained at Sawarpen as well. And so I came over here to train. And then the tsunami happened. And if it wasn't for the tsunami, I wouldn't have probably come back.
Okay.
But because of that tsunami, I came back, and you travel the world. I had the bug, and I was doing different trips to different places.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, again, because where are you right now?
Now I'm in Peru.
You're in Peru right now.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, so awesome. So like, one of my biggest travels was I came to Thailand in 2006.
Yep.
Basically following the World Cup as much as I could. It was in Germany, remember, in 2006. And
okay,
I tried to do as much land as I could from LA.
Okay.
So I drove across country from LA to Boston, took a flight to Galway in Ireland.
Yep.
Boat from Ireland to France, France up to the Netherlands,
yep.
through Germany, through Poland, Belarus, got on the Trans-Siberian Railroad in Moscow, took that through Irkutsk and Siberia, into Mongolia, into China, down into Vietnam, into Cambodia, into Thailand, you know?
Okay. Wow, that's some journey. And then just fell in love with it in Thailand.
Yeah, man. Just fell in love with the lifestyle, hey, listen, again, like, if you're not really into caste and class structures, which obviously we're seeing a lot of problems in the States with today and around the world. Again, like, if you're not into caste and class structures, as an American dude doing what I do at my level of education, I knew that, like, okay, I'm never going to be high society in Thailand, but why would I want to do that? You know what I mean? Like, who cares about that? I'll never be low society here either. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to live in a tin roof shanty, you know? So the lifestyle here is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, even like, I've been through rough times here, but they're never as rough as acid burn guy at the Jon Nutt BTS with no arms, you know?
Yeah.
And I've been doing really, really well here at sometimes. And when you're doing well here, nobody really cares. You know?
For me, living in Asia, the weather, the food, it's not about being rich for me. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered about being rich. It's, if I'm happy doing what I'm doing and my lifestyle's good, that's good for me. You know what I mean? That's why I empathize with what you're saying. The one that I'm really interested in is, how did you get into that prison fight thing? Tell us about that, man. That's like, that's straight off a movie, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Again, like I mean, it was great. So I mean, obviously the fight industry, you get to know each other and you get to know what people can do. I had friends that were working for Vice. Like, are you with me? And again, I'm kind of one of a handful of foreigners out here that like have legit connections to the different fight games and things of that nature. At the time, the main promoter, who was the foreign promoter who was doing it at the time, was from Estonia.
Okay.
His name was Kirill. And they were trying to do weird stuff, man. They wanted to get prisons in like Russia or Mexico to actually do like Con Air. Are you with me? They wanted to fly inmates from Mexico over to fight the inmates in Thailand or the inmates in Russia to do the same thing. And yeah, I mean, it was wild situations. A lot of people, again, like, because it's so crazy movie oriented, there's been a lot that's been blown out of proportion. I did the Vice documentary. I was the main producer for the Vice documentary. So you can even go back and watch that and see my name in the credits. I think that actually is like the highest viewed Muay Thai associated video.
I watched that a while ago,
Yeah, it's got like 9 million or 13 million plus or something like that. I also did the ones for coconuts. So like I did Klong Krem, I did Klong Pai. I went to 5 or 6. 5 or 6 doing documentaries, doing journalism for them. The Showtime one that came out, they claimed that they followed, a really, really bad boy, somebody that was in there for violent crimes and that type of shit.
Yeah.
As far as I knew, and as far as we were told, all of the dudes that were allowed to be on the prison boxing team were guys that, like, obviously were looked favorably upon by the guards. It was a reward. It wasn't like a punishment. So, and also I was told that you had to be a non-violent offender. So like the guys that I always focused on, the guys that like I did my interviews with, were generally in there for drug charges.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They were all selling methamphetamine and they got busted. And,
It doesn't sound, no clickbait there, is there? If you say that you're violent, they're killers and they're letting killers out, it sounds a lot better. Because
it does.
So let me correct me if I'm wrong. So you used to go you take a foreigner would pay to go and fight a Thai prisoner inside the prison. No.
Well, not really. I mean, maybe in the later years that actually maybe happened. But I mean, before that, even like Dave LeDuc, when Dave LeDuc fought on it and stuff, like I was there for that. Stephen Malidi was one of my favorite fighters out of the UK. He's part of like Liam Harrison and Bad Company, and all that. Stephen Malidi fought, and so they find them and they match them up. Yeah, I'm sure that the Western fighters don't get paid, but they're doing it for the experience and all that type of stuff. Yes, it's truthful that like if the inmates do very well, they can again like it can be seen as like a way of pardoning whatever. They can get extra rice, they get extra chicken.
So they didn't get set free. It wasn't you win and you no? Okay.
No. The only way that happened is if they did it multiple wins for multiple years at a time, and then got like the warden's pardon or a king's pardon or something. But I mean, literally, and yet, like, has that been done? Have people gotten released from Thai prisons for fighting in prison? Yes, they have. But think about it. If you like the Kong Pai or Kong Prem, they only do it, I think, twice a year or 3 times a year.
Still doing it now.
But yeah, the historical ones they still do. I know that another fellow like promoter in Bangkok, Dean Burke, he's going to work with them now a little bit more. But it's tough because you're riding such a fine line of moral obtuseness. Is that a word? You know what I mean? You're just
I know what you mean. But
you know, again, these guys are criminals, so you can't give them the fucking world, right?
But for me, I'm I've lived in that criminal world at times, so it's like for me, it's like that's pretty cool for them. You know what I mean? If they're in prison, they're training, they're trying to better themselves, and they win those fights. What do you think they're going to do when they get out?
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, and again, majority of them will like go and get a job at a gym. At least they've got a place. So yeah, I do think it's pretty fantastic. But it's very similar. I mean, people think it's so crazy because it's fighting, but the penal systems in America have football teams or baseball teams. You know what I mean? It's a way of, like you're saying, it's a way of trying to get the men that are off track on some sort of rails.
There's boxing teams in the gyms in the UK. You know what I mean? You can box and things like that.
So yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that again we are so exotic by being over here in Thailand, and as you know, I mean, shit, the level of prisons here. You know what I mean? Like when we were in Klong Prem. Oh man, rats, roaches, 3x3 cell with 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Bah.
I've seen hospitals. I don't like to stay in there, let alone their prisons.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. So again, it's crazy, dude. I feel very fortunate to have done it. I'd love to make more movie stuff about it and more like over the top stuff about it and use it But as for like, again, for me, every time after doing the Vice one, okay, so for instance, I'm good friends with this guy who's a director out in LA, and his girlfriend at the time was a girl named Sarah Moncall Lane. You can look her up, Sarah Lane, or Sarah Moncall Lane. She's Lucrum, half Thai, half English.
Okay.
She's hot. She's a beautiful girl, and she is a Dara. And I brought both of them.
Yeah.
And the prisoners were losing their shit about her. Like, everybody wanted to take a picture with her. Everybody. Then they found out that I could sing in Thai. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And so it just turns out to be a concert, like me and people taking their pictures with her, and people taking their pictures with me, and me singing Carabao music and Secloso and all this type of shit. And it turns out to be like this little party because it's so abnormal that a foreigner can sing, and it's so weird that, like, again, like, it just becomes a spectacle to them. You know what I mean? It's like, why is the dog yelling moo? It is not a cow. It is a dog. Dogs bark. But the cow says moo. It's you know what I mean? It's wild to them. So
but they do love it, don't they? If you try and speak Thai, you know what I mean? It really, you know, you really get to, even if you get it wrong, they soon correct you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's done. I mean, again, singing the King's Anthem has done very, very well for me. Singing the national anthem here does very, very well for me. Yeah, I mean, again, I started a band during this pandemic period. We were going to start in January anyway, but like, because of the pandemic, like, we're on fire now, you know.
So what's that called? Bangkok Boys.
The Bangkok Boys, Vicious Mango. It's actually theviciousmango.com. If you go check out theviciousmango.com,
Vicious Mango.
you'll see our t-shirt. Yeah.
Okay. You'll have to email me them, and we'll put the links in.
We'll do.
So what are you doing with the Bangkok Boys then? How's it? I know
artistic outlet. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's an artistic outlet that I see as, you know, we want to do music and marketing. You know,
okay.
Again, it's unique for Falang to sing in Thai. So, I mean, dude, I know that there's a handful of foreigners that can sing, but nobody can entertain like me in terms of yeah. I mean, I'm tootling my own horn, toodaloo, 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 but it's like, you know, I can do it. So why not do it? It's fun. Bart is an amazing producer. So people also have to realize, like, you know, like, when I say that I want to do everything in the art form of mixed martial arts, and again, like, I've been a ref, and I've been a pundit, and I've been a fighter, and I've, you know, each and every role. Now I'm going after content, and I'm learning about broadcast. I want all my own music. I need all my own music. I need stuff that's not copyright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other promoters would be like, let me pay, and I want somebody else to make the song for me. Not me, bro. I'll make that song myself. Thank you very much. Because again, like, if people say that it's the path, huh?
You love all that stuff, though, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, bringing you into it, and that, you know, you said you're an entertainer, and that is the thing for you. Like, you know what I mean? When you're cage announcing, it's entertainment. You know? For sure. So no one does it like.
Say again?
No one does it like you. It's not. You know, the jokes in there. There's everything going on. It's awesome, man.
Salute to that. I know. Yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry I had to move. Just figured that. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's a great time. I definitely, like, we will be doing some live music. We'll be doing some more Facebook Live type of stuff. But you know, the bars are slowly opening up over here. We definitely plan on playing some live gigs at around town. But I really am. I'm gonna slice up all the music that we make and put it into FMD videos.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Put it in more promotional tools for other people as well. So, I mean, bro, like, we did a video, like, as a joke. We did, like, our Sipsy Krung video, and that's a cover. the original singer is Sek Loso. Sek Loso shared that video. It got 61,000 views overnight.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
like
that's good.
So,
man.
Yeah, it's fun.
I
didn't even try. Yeah, man, it's amazing. So, yeah, and again, especially right now during this whole COVID pandemic. I mean, you're in Peru. You've obviously started doing some podcasting and whatnot. You got to get creative, right?
Yeah, if I'm sat here, like I'm sat here on my own, I can't go out, most of the time, and there's a curfew here, so it's like, it fills a few things. One, I get to speak to people I like you, you know what I mean, and have a different conversation and do something creative. It keeps me occupied. If something comes of this, then great, but it's all learning,
Yes, exactly. And again, this is a step towards another journey for you as well. Like, again, if you had no idea what it took to make a podcast before, this relates everything to you. So the education that comes along with it is one of the steps that, like, you will be entertained by far. I mean, again, like, I'm assuming that you're not going after the largest number counts right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm assuming you're not boosting it out the wazoo. This is a word of mouth, and this is for fun, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of it. So I've got people to speak to, if I'm honest about this, to start with. I'd like to carry it on because I'm enjoying it. It's a different skill, sort of. I talk a lot, if you know what I mean. And now I'm having to listen and try and do, change the skill of how I speak, which is good for me, So it's something different.
Sure, for sure.
Do a little bit of research about the person and things like that. And then it's okay. Who can I get on? And and that's why it's super flexible and everything at the moment. And just trying to be fun.
Well, I mean, who else are you getting on? What are some of the other guys that you're going to get? Are you going to reach out to Javier for me and hit him up?
I will do, yeah. You know what I mean? So I'll reach out to Javier because you mentioned him. So reach out to Javier. Going to try and get Oliver Cost on. Different refereeing and how he's done that journey. So I'm looking forward to speaking to him because I've never had those conversations with him. Like I've never had these conversations with you. It's always been short conversations where you're busy and I'm doing something, and just those sort of interactions. So it's been really cool getting to know you.
For sure. Oliver is the man. Again, I texted back and forth with him earlier today. Again, sweetheart of a human being, very transparent dude. So he'll definitely be a good talk for you. But I mean, please go through my network if you can. I'd love to have you talk to more people that are, again, associated to mixed martial arts in Asia.
It's one of my passions, and if I could speak to fighters or anyone involved in fighting, you know what I mean? It's easy for me,
you want to know who's an interesting cat that you need to talk to is Chun Reach. Chun Reach or Richard. He is the man in Cambodian MMA. Okay. But he grew up in Brooklyn. So I mean, he's Cambodian as Cambodian can be. But when he speaks like what's up, dog? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's awesome. I just think he's one of the most interesting people in Asian MMA. There's a lot of us that are interesting, but Cambodian MMA people are wild. Gerald Ung, I mean, reach out to him because he's in Myanmar, and again, that's a Singaporean dude throwing Burmese bare knuckle boxing fights.
Yeah, they're just. So how did you get into that WLC? That's really hitting it at the moment, isn't it? It's doing well, from what I can see.
I think that they could, of all like the people that say that something could be the next big thing or whatever, I think that could be the next big organization. I just don't see how you can have like a tough man competition than Letway. And again, as far as casual fans go that run it, 5 years ago, we all would have thought that like the Chinese market would have taken on way bigger to MMA. But to tell you the truth, like, Sanda still runs it over there. You know what I mean? Kickboxing is still above, so they still don't appreciate the ground as everybody does. Again, stand-up fighting in Asia is a bigger thing. You know what I mean? So like, how do you get any tougher? How do you get any tougher than dropping the gloves, and adding the headbutts.
You can't pick headbutts, can you?
No, you can't. So it's going to be fun. But there's a bright future for the WLC. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I quite enjoy watching the Lethwei. Have you trained Lethwei while you've been in Burma?
Yeah. In Pa'an. In Pa'an. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And again, I mean, very similar.
What I noticed, I don't know if just the coach I was with, normally I like with the Thai trainers, I'll throw 5-punch combination or 5 punches and kicks. Man, they were doing 12, 15 combination. By the end of it, like,
yeah.
I don't know whether they were doing it just to see how much they could kill me or what, like, but
yeah.
Just big long combinations, and I'm like, hold on.
For sure, bro, for sure. And again, you see Duke doing his, like, 2 punch, 2 elbow, 2 knee, 2 kick head combinations. I mean, again, some of them get wild, some of them get real wild. I personally, again, if you find a good trainer in Lethwei, it's still a brother sister to Muay Thai. I like my pad holders where, like, we can read each other and, like, we can just get into a flow state with each other. You know what I mean? I have two trainers at Jitty Gym and at Bangkok Fight Lab. And when they're holding pads for me, I can just throw.
Yeah.
Throw. Whatever I want.
Thai trainers, proper Thai trainers, when they're training with a Thai guy, they just catch whatever, don't they?
They'll catch it. He knows.
For me, they call it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that experienced. But they just let you throw and they'll catch it, won't they?
For sure. And again, like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not trying to fake him out, but yeah, I mean, at my size too, it's great to have a guy that, like, I can do like a jab cross kick combo, throwing with the knee, then I can stalk up, have fun, box it back again, take an L step, come with another elbow and work on those ones and not even, I mean, again, like, he doesn't have to say anything. We're just in tune,
Yeah.
And that's again one of the.
A lot of Thai trainers don't like having people our size, do they? You know what I mean? Or you're bigger than me, It's, especially when you're kicking, it still hurts through those pads, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly.
They don't take off.
Oh yeah, again, percussion.
They're 2 good gyms to train. Jitty Gym, I like it there, where you can just rock up, can't you? It's quite a cool gym to train at.
Yeah, for sure. Jitty Gym's awesome.
To go when you're in Bangkok for a Muay Thai experience, I quite liked it there. For like, whenever people go to Bangkok and visit there, I'll say, just go and rock up there. It's Muay Thai.
Jitty Gym, Bangkok Fight Lab, Elite on 36. Kong Sita, Matthew Dean's gym. Oh, it's like, I mean, maybe this is too much, but it's like a Tiger Muay Thai for Bangkok. Like he's got it. He's got a lot going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got the rooms. He's got all that, and then you got he's got Sanchai, but Sanchai's also at PK Sanchai Gym. He's also at Yokow. You know what I mean? You got Crew Dumb, who's just absolutely destroying it. The dude's got like 12 locations. RSM, Sit Yatong New Gen over on the on Rama. You got Stasi Properly. You got Pechin D.
Okay.
As far as Muay Thai goes, I mean, if you're gonna come from around the globe, like, this is where you need to do it.
Yeah. I always feel I was really lucky. Have you ever heard of Paranchai in Tunis? I was working there and I got to train at his gym for free. You know what I mean? It's just in his house. And that my Muay Thai, I think for 2 weeks they were just making me do a switch, a roundhouse kick, because they're like, my suai, not beautiful, my suai. Oh man, because I demoralised after 2 weeks of that, and then I just took it, suai, beautiful, and it's like, now people comment on my kicks, but they really helped my kicking game. So it's different when you're with somebody who's really technical. I like it. Is there anything else you want
Are you getting any training down there?
No, I'm not doing anything at the moment. I'm just stuck in a room. Can't even go out exercising.
Okay. So what's the pandemic like for you? What is the pandemic like for you on your side?
It's getting bad here. It's the winter here, isn't it? So the numbers are going up here, and it's not. So I'm getting a bit worried about getting out. And they've eased the lockdown a bit. It was one of the worst in the world here. It was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, men could go out. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, women could go out. No one could go out on a Sunday. But they've changed it now. You can go out any day. From 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock, I can go out in the day. But I can't go out Sunday. Sunday, you've got to stay in.
Wild. That is wild. And again, like, you're on this massive bike trip around South America. Are you going to stick on to that? Like, do you plan on leaving Peru and going somewhere else by bike, or no?
No, I'm going to call it now because I need to get back and work. You know what I mean? So I need to get back to China as soon as I can to work again. Hopefully, I can get to Thailand to my place in Pattaya and spend a month or a couple of weeks there and chill out, and then head off to China. But see what happens. Well, but there's only humanitarian flights out now, so that's the other problem.
Well, the doors here are again supposed to open to foreigners on the 1st, and obviously of July, and you'll obviously have to quarantine for 14 days in Pattaya. But I mean, do it is my suggestion. I mean, again, like, you know, are the numbers all real and all that type of stuff? I don't care. It's not my. I'm not a doctor. But what I will say is, it's remarkable how well it's gone over here. You know what I mean? Like, crazy how low the numbers are in Southeast Asia. Cambodia's got like 1. Vietnam's got 0. We've got like, I mean, bro, like, the other thing is
less susceptible to getting COVID than Europeans or Westerners. There's a gene that they have, so they are less.
Again, I'm not going to be the doc on it, but I will say, like, at least the statistics that I'm going over here is there's like 44 deaths a day due to motorbike accidents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we've only had 59 deaths due to COVID the whole time. So it's like, if it's all really about saving us, well, then we need to ban cars. We need to ban, you know what I mean? We need to ban alcohol. We need to ban cars, motorbikes. Nobody can, you know what I mean? You need to bubble the earth. We need to nerf it.
I'm a risk taker. If you look at my life, I've took risks all my life. You know what I mean? So for them to say, oh, there's a 0.002% chance of you dying of COVID. Right. I'll take that risk, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to die at some point, so I'll take that risk. Just don't stop me living my life, man. You know what I mean? That's the bit that I don't like. You know, I'm all for freedoms.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I feel you. I do feel you. And did you get to run into Richard Arthur while you were down there?
No, nearly. He was in Bolivia and I was here, and we were gonna cross paths at some point. And I've been in loads, and I was really looking forward to it. You know, get to speak to someone and know and hang out for a bit, and then I got stuck here. He got stuck in Bolivia. Then he went back to Brazil, and now he's back in the UK. So you know,
he had such an adventure though. Like with you know, he wound up like seeing Marcelo Tenorio, the Latino down in Brazil. Like they did like, you know, they did Carnival together or something like that. I mean,
is that the guy you
fought? Time.
Is that Marcelo the guy? Is that the guy you fought in there?
Yeah. Yeah, who I'm again, like, I don't necessarily see myself fighting again by any means, but if he wanted to fight me again, I'd do it.
you want to get
man, like, I never fought him with a camp. You know, I fought him to save shows. I fought him on the last minute, and you know, I broke his nose on the first time.
Because that was really last minute, that dare one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was last minute as last minute could be. I mean, 3 days before the fight. 3 days before the show, his opponent backed out. They assumed that he was just off the card. They asked me at the weigh-ins, and I said yes. So,
cool. Let's weigh it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was last minute as last minute could be. And then, I mean, I fought him the second time. The second time, ask Oliver about it. When you do your little podcast with Oliver, I mean, I'll tell you, but like, it's a very similar thing. Like, he had an opponent. The opponent's father got sick, and the guy backed out of the fight, or actually, he just didn't get on the plane. He was supposed to come from Cairo. He didn't get on the plane. And dude, I remember, like, Marcello put me so on the spot. He put me so on the fucking spot because his wife knew my wife. So like, he called over his wife, called over my wife, called over Oliver Cost, called over like all these people, and was like, I am sorry, but like, I need the fight. If I don't have this fight, I can't get the next fight in Rebel. Like, I need this fight for that fight. So like, John, you have to give it to me. Like, what are you, a pussy? You know what I mean? Like,
Go on, man.
Exactly. You crossed the line. No, Marcello. So, but I'll never forget. Like, Oliver Cost was right there, and he was like, are you guys joking? Like, is like, you know what I mean? Like, Frenchie McGee that Oliver is, if you will. Like, he was like, bro, what's going on here? You know? Yeah, I mean, dude, but like, I was so fat. When I was in Dare, I was training. Now, I might not have been like in camp, but I was training.
Yep.
When I fought him the other time,
drinking.
I mean, I had shots. I had shots of Jack Daniels, that night before.
He was getting drunk off your sweat. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Think I ate like a tomahawk steak before, that night. Like.
Oh, they're wicked. We'll have to go and grab a steak when I come back to Bangkok. I owe you a steak.
For sure. 100%. Well, again, I would suggest, I don't know what your situation is going to be over there, but if you're saying that you got to get out of there, I still think for Southeast Asia, Thailand's doing good for COVID.
Yeah, if I can get there, I don't think I'd be allowed in till August, to tell you the truth. I think they're going to phase it in. I think it's people with Thai wives going to come first, and then they're on about this. I don't know what this will look like, the tourism bubble, Yes. So I don't know what that looks like. So they might only let people in from China first, because they want the Chinese money. So I don't know. I'm not holding out that I can get in. So
I do feel you.
One thing I ask about everyone about what's a big thing for you about living in Thailand? Why would you recommend people to come? I always see you saying you should go there.
Yeah, quality of life and price per value.
And food.
I mean, again, like I'm now anchored, bro. Like, I'm now anchored. I got the ring on the finger. I got 1 3-year-old boy, and my wife is preggers now, so I have another one on the way. I have a house here. I have a business here, so I'm anchored. But like, all anchors aside, I mean, again, like, remember the audience that I'm talking to. Thailand as a country, it's rice, rubber, and tourism. Tourism makes up 19% of the GDP. So I've always figured, as an American, you kind of learn that you want your immigrants to assimilate. And I have no problem with that. I think that people should make a conscious effort to be kind of a part of the society and try to be neighborly to at least everybody and be good, upstanding people. Dude, if you're a foreigner, the shitty thing about everything that's going on right now, and especially when everybody's bringing up racism and stuff like that, real shitty thing is people that are not traveled don't realize that racism is everywhere. And I don't even give a shit if it's called racism. It's just called hate. You know what I mean? There are people that don't like or hate people.
Instead of racism, I think hate or prejudice is a much better word, because it covers everything.
Yeah, and again, like, dude, you're gonna run into it everywhere, and even in Thailand, I run into it. Over here, you have to pay more to go to the national parks, as you know. But like, the thing is so what? like if that's not actually in your everyday face of your community, like if you were to move over to Thailand and actually not follow any media and not watch the pop culture that's going on here or the pop culture that's going on there, your life is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, I have friends that have been down on the island of Koh Lipe this entire pandemic, like living the dream, going spearfishing every day. You know what I mean? Happy hour starts at 4 o'clock. There's only a certain limited amount of people on the island. They were already social distanced before social distance became popular. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, where shit. Can't do that in Los Angeles. Can't do that in Manhattan. Can't do that in London.
I love the food as well in Thailand.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
what's your go-to Thai food?
Oh, I'm a big like Mumanao.
Mumanao.
Pork and lime.
Okay.
You know, chicken and cashew nuts. Dude, just by the way, the simplest thing in the world, khao man gai. You know, chicken and rice. Chicken and rice, bro.
It's an oily rice, isn't it? It just tastes so much.
50 baht.
Yeah.
You know, 50 baht a plate, 45 baht a plate. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, we're not harping on this subject, but again, the pandemic has not been like horrible for me. You know, have I been out of work? Am I financially, you know, not happy about how things are? Yeah, I'm not happy about financially how things are, but everybody's fucked. Everybody's screwed. Everybody's business is going to take a hit, and that's the way it is. But for me, again, like I have streamlined my life, hung out with my family so much more, kick it with my little boy every day. You know, I am a martial artist, like at the very base. So like I've been doing Tai Chi. I've been doing my forms and my katas and all the rest of it. This has been a great time, you know. Obviously, you know that I like to consume. I haven't drank this entire time. Like, very, very refreshing for me, you know. So again, I would just, you know, obviously it sucks. It's a shitty time for everybody, but I would say again, mentally, I'm in the game, you know.
But that's for everything, isn't it? Like that perception is reality. However you want to perceive it. If you want to perceive this as, because I had to go through all this, perceiving this as negative, and now it's like, okay, I'm gonna try and do the podcast. I'm gonna try and finish my book. I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna try and do that while I've got this time. Or I can sit here, kicking holes in the door, and you know what I mean, and being off about it, you know. And that's one thing about you and why I was looking forward to speaking to you, because you're always positive, you know.
Oh, bro, and again, if you don't have that positive outlook, I mean, bro, there's so many silver linings in life. You know what I mean? It's not all shit. And again, if you can also be a three-dimensional human being, like I always harp on the word autodidactic, because people who know what the word autodidactic means are self-educating themselves in the process. So, like, man, like again, I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm writing music. I'm writing the book. Huh?
What's the book about? What's the book about?
It's a children's book.
Oh, well, a children's book. Yeah, wicked.
Inspired by my kids. Inspired by my kids. You know.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but like I actually have, because I'm an artist. You know that. You know, like I have my team. So, bro, the children's book that I'm writing, like it's awesome. It's very, very good. It is very good. And the illustrations are like, the illustrations are a mix between Dr. Seuss and Calvin and Hobbes.
Okay. I don't know.
You know Dr. Seuss. Come on now. Green Eggs and Ham. You don't know Green Eggs? You know?
Sorry, yeah. Okay.
So it's just, it's quirky. It's kooky. You know, it's very childish. And all of the chapters in my book, all of the written stories actually are songs.
Okay, cool.
So if you bought my book, presumably if you bought my book, it will also have the Spotify to all of the recorded songs, but then we're going to also release the instrumentals as karaoke videos.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me? So when you buy my book, you'll be able to sing it with your...
I'm just smiling, man. And this goes back to what you were saying at the beginning about Full Metal Dojo. I'll find a way, and I'll find a way that's something different and something...
Yeah.
Because that's, you know what I mean? And that's unique. It's a cool way of doing it, man. Because that works really well. Love that idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, again, like I definitely, we're going to do our first print of this because I'm working on the songs now. Illustrations are being done. Whole book will be done by September. I'm going to push the fuck out of my children's book in December and Christmas. Cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And again, every children's book that you'll buy will actually, you'll be able to sing every chapter of the book with your kids, and there'll be a music video for it. And although that, again, like, because you know who I am and you know that I'm an underground fight promoter, doesn't mean I can't write a children's book. God damn it, I'm three-dimensional. You know, so like,
you know, I was talking about that to someone the other day. Most people don't fly, do they? You know what I mean? Most people just walk and in 2 dimensions. You know, and there's only a few people that fly, and you know, I can go up as well. You know, most people just go backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. You know, so wicked, man.
Yeah, gonna try to do some action figures and shit too.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, again, like, man, you know, I'm not a salesman. I'm not like a good salesman. Mm-hmm. But the thing is I'm actually a very good salesman, because if I don't have something that I'm not, you're with me, right? Like, I'm not trying to sell you.
You couldn't sell something you don't believe in.
Yes, exactly. I would never do something that I don't really kind of believe in. So, like, man, again, so like, we're gonna come out with new FMD like line of clothing. Yeah, and again, like, all that's gonna be awesome. Like, I wouldn't have actually been able to do that without COVID. You know, we have like regular FMD shirts, and I have that NWO one, and I have that MTV one, but now I have a catalog of like 50. Like, wow. Yeah. And when the new, like, when we relaunched the FMD website, you'll be able to go on and buy our gloves. You'll be able to go on and buy our coffee mugs. You'll be able to go on and buy our shot glasses, all that shit, you know? So learning about the process of all that e-commerce and e-marketing and POD and all the rest of it, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, bro. You know? Sorry, I got people chiming in, man.
That's okay.
But yeah, so like, I'm loving that process that's happening right now. And a lot of the ways that I'm learning about it is because I'm working on these other quirky projects, you know, these other weird ones. But yeah, like, again, like, I have guys that are working with 3D printing machines. I would love to start making a Full Metal chessboard. That's the one that, like, is on my mind these days. Whoa. So that all the pieces, you know, like again, like, you know, like, have fucking Will Chope be a bishop, have Javier Trujillo be a rook. You know what I mean? I don't know who wants to be the pawns, but you know what I mean? Like,
you might get some backlash over the being a pawn.
Yeah, you know, is that, you know what I mean? I should probably put my face as the pawn. I should probably put my face as all the pawns. Oh, for sure. Exactly. Oliver Cost can be the fucking king. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are some definite things that we're gonna do. I mean, again, you know, I mean, the game ain't gonna stop, and I'm gonna keep going along with it. I feel like I'm very young in it still. I want to get. This is like kind of my 10th year in Bangkok.
Yep.
Promoting fights of all sorts, from Muay Thai to MMA. But as far as it is in terms of actually having a company and having employees and trying to run shit a little bit tighter, the educational process I'm having such a great time with that, like, let it go. I don't care. We can do. I can do this forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Good Bob Allen.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, he's still going. How old's Bob Allen now? He's still going.
Yeah, Bob's getting it done. Bob, I mean, those cards are fantastic that he's getting done over there. General Kovic over here, my man's like 86 or something, you know, and he's still getting it done on the scene. So yeah, I just, again, like, over the next 10 years, I want to entertain just as much as I want the shows to go on. So again, I will do, like, I'm definitely going to do some wacky stuff. You know our walkouts, right? I still feel like our walkouts are some of the most creative shit because we pre-film the walkouts so that they are studs, and then the door opens. Yeah. That's what I was doing when I wasn't focused on a broadcast show. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing when I was focused on the live audience and Insanity. Now I have other people that are allowing me to get creative on a production note and direct. Bro, I'm gonna do some weird shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Expect something to look like The Running Man, but then a fight. You know? Yeah, man. I haven't got a clue what you're gonna come up with. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, watch, bro. It's gonna be weird, but very entertaining. And again, the fights are still gonna be. You know, I don't want to take anything away from them, so I still actually plan on, like, letting the fights be the fights. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna interject on that, but I am, again, like, you know how we've been working with the comedy over here, right? Yeah. I see. It was been involved getting people over for comedy. Yeah, we helped out with Tom Green show, Doug Stanhope. Yeah. You know, I love the guys like Sam C and Kevin James and Rashid Salah, who I work with Malaysian Invasion. He's a comedian. So, like, remember that again, it's events coordinating. And one of the ways that, like, I've done well that, like, other people hasn't is because I do these other things. And like, if I can add a very, very famous comedian to my broadcast team, and people watch because of that comedian, not because they're MMA fans. Even the MMA fans might be like, "Oh, John's fucking it up," because they're not. No, I'm not. Nobody was watching you. Unfortunately, nobody was watching you, fighter. But now, because this comedian's on board, they're gonna start watching you. But, like, who's that guy on ESPN that everyone moans about? He brings loads of eyeballs, doesn't he? The one who got criticized about Mr. Smith. Yeah. And again, everyone was talking about it, so it's like, did he do the wrong thing? You know what I mean? Because you know, everyone was talking about it, right or wrongly. 100%. 100%. Man, I just saw in, like, some of the forums, you know, people are talking about how John Jones versus Ngannou would be so big. It would be to me and you. It would be to me and you. It would be to all the hardcore fans. But is Ngannou versus Jon Jones going to pack a bar in Cambodia? No, it's not. And the fact is when Conor McGregor goes in, bars in Bangkok have to take reservations. That's what people don't understand. There's only Conor that really sells, isn't there? Yeah. I mean, as a global superstar, I go by the bar list. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, again, this is no offense to, like, Brave or anything like that, because I love them. But, like, I don't really have too many customers come over to me at the clubhouse and request to put on Brave. But I have loads of Aussies come over to ask about cricket when they don't play cricket. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I could give a shit about cricket. But bro, if you're packing out a bar on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon for a sport that's going on in the other side of the globe, and I'm not just talking about round eyes, I'm talking about the Thais getting involved too. Yeah. Then you're really a dominant player. You know what I mean? I remember when he fought Floyd, and like, my ex-girlfriend, she was from the Czech Republic. Her mum, who didn't follow sport at all, spoke to her about Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather.
And it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? She doesn't even like sport.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know.
Hey, brother, my phone is actually that. I don't know if you saw that blink, but I'm gonna go off in a couple minutes.
Wrap it up, man, because you know, I've took a lot of your time, and you know, otherwise we'll be nearly on for 2 hours. I could speak to you all night, John, but you know.
For sure. Likewise, but again, yeah, I'm on 5%, so like you're gonna go off whether you like it or not in a second.
Really appreciate it, mate. And it's been great speaking to you. Can't wait to see it again. So
yeah, man. And again, like yo, Russ, if hey, when I lock down a date, like a date for the show, or even like a kind of supposed date, I'll let you know, and let's do it again so I can come on and talk about it. Okay?
Oh yeah, anytime. I love chatting to you, mate. You know what I mean? It makes me happy. So
sure.
It's been great. All right, peace out.
Salute.
Take care.
Have a great one in Peru, brother. Have a great one in Peru.
Will do.
Be good.
Bye.